Hi everyone, today we are going to be walking through the Integrated Virtual Agent Accelerator, and there's a lot going on with this accelerator, so it's very exciting. Our first with Watson Virtual Agent, and the Integrated Virtual Agent Accelerator is really designed to show the art of the possible of the Watson Virtual Agent. It comes with 4 custom dialog flows for telco, retail, banking, and insurance, the ability to escalate a conversation to a live agent for more help through Slack, an integration with the CRM system, and also shows how you can very easily, no coding required, use this framework to either customize an existing bot with colors or a new logo, or also use this framework for your own existing bot. And so to begin, I will type in my username as Watson and my password as password with the A as an @ sign and the O as a 0, and I'll hit login. So before we go ahead and get started, let's just point out a few things. Everything that you need for this accelerator is going to be found in this menu. So here you can see the 4 different industry dialog flows that we've built out. So we have Blue Mobile, which is telco, Northside, which is retail, Cloud9, which is banking, and Armor Insurance, of course, is insurance. I also have this ability to customize. We'll get into this more in a little bit. The ability to access the CRM system, again, we will get into this more in a little bit. But important to note that this is how you will toggle through the different capabilities that are featured within this accelerator. I'm now going to walk through the Slack integration process. If you're not interested in integrating with Slack and showing off this capability, then you are free to skip this section, but I do encourage you to set this up. It really makes for a very impactful demo. So to begin the sign up process, what you're going to do is you're going to type this into your browser. So integratedagent.slack.com/signup, and then you're going to enter your email address. And you're going to hit create account. And now it's going to tell me that an email is on its way. Okay, so you will know that you're on the right track to setting up your integrated virtual agent channel in Slack if you get an email to your inbox with the subject confirm your email to join integrated virtual agent. You'll go ahead, you'll click this confirm email address, and then it will take you to a page where you can write in your name. So I'll just go ahead and write testing integrated virtual agent, and let's say I make my username test IBA. And I'll go ahead and click next, and then I'll create a password. You can skip this, hit I agree. Okay, great. So now what we're doing is we're loading the Slack channel in a browser. Now I recommend that you load it within the Slack app, so that is what I'm going to show you next. Okay, so the next step is to add the integrated virtual agent to our Slack app. And so I'll go ahead and click sign in to another team, and as you can see, this actually is not going to affect my ability to be in multiple Slack channels at once. So I will type in the Slack team name, which is just integrated agent, and I'll hit continue. And then I will add in my email address that I used to sign up for the channel, and I will type in my password, and I'll hit sign in. Okay, so the next step is to add a channel to our integrated virtual agent Slack organization. So I can call this anything. Let's say I call it video demo. And I will want to make sure that I'm actually going to save this channel name because I'm going to need it later. So I'll go ahead and I will click create channel. And then I will type /invite, and then I will do @customer and hit enter. Okay, and the final step for setting up your Slack integration is to click on the menu button and click customize. And what you're going to do is you're going to add in your email address for the email that you use to sign up for your Slack channel, and you'll hit submit. Then you'll go to new customization. You can just add filler text for now for this section if you're not going to be adding your custom bot credentials. And then what you're going to do is you're going to type in that Slack channel that you had created earlier. So in my case, it was demo video. And again, you can ignore this. We will come back to this later. And then you'll go ahead and click Save Customization. At that point, you can go to Save Customizations tab and click Use. Now, you can ignore these other ones. This was other uses that I had when I was testing this. And then you can see here that it is active. And then that's it. And we will show you how this works in just a bit. So now we are ready to actually start the demonstration. But before we do, one last thing you want to make sure, if you have gone through the process of setting up the Slack channel, you want to make sure that it's active each time you log in. So as a best practice, if you're going to be toggling through any of these different demonstrations, you want to make sure that you are making your Slack integration active. And to do that, again, if you have followed me to this point, you'll just submit the email address you use. You'll go to your Save Customizations and you'll click Use, and it'll show you that it's active. So that way, if during the dialogue you want to actually use this Slack integration, you are now in a position to do so. So to begin the interaction, what I will do is I will click on this Have Questions button to talk to our virtual agent, and I will see that Watson with the name Blake greets me and asks how I can be assisted today, and I will say that I am wanting to find a store near me. So where is the closest store? Okay, great. So now Watson's going to say, do you want me to find you this location using your current location or using your zip code? And I'll click zip code. Doesn't really matter which one I choose, and then I'll add in my zip code. And now I have been provided with 3 different possibilities for store locations that I can go into. So now I'm asked, is there anything else that I can be helped with today? And this Find the Nearest Store dialog is actually an example of one of the 105 pre-trained capabilities that can be used with any of the industry use cases. So there's no customization really that we're showing for this one here. And so if you're interested in interacting with this conversation flow with some of the more pre-trained capabilities, I encourage you to check out the core capabilities. We will add this link so that you can get to it easily, but there are 105 really exhaustive, definitely great to check out. Next, we are going to walk through the Northside Sporting Goods example, and this is for retail. And so to get here, all I did was I clicked on this menu. I went from Blue Mobile to Northside. And again, a reminder, if you are planning on using the Slack integration, which I will be using during this demonstration, you're going to want to make sure that you are still configured for your Slack channel. And so to do that, you're going to go through the prompts by starting on clicking on this Customize page. So to begin, I will click here, and I will say, I want to buy ski pants. And I will then be asked, what size do I need? And I'll go ahead and I'll say I need a medium size. And now Watson will say, okay, well, what color do you want? And, let's say I choose gray. I want gray ski pants. Okay, great. So what you're seeing here is that Watson can set aside a pair of ski pants for me at the store of my choice. And if I want to arrange for a pickup, that I should talk to an agent. And here's where the Slack component is going to come into play. So what I will do is I will type agent, and Watson's going to connect me with an agent. And so what's happening here, if I click on Slack, is that now I'm in Slack and I can see that my chat transcript has been transferred from the mobile browser to Slack. And really what we're trying to show here is the art of the possible. So of course, because this is an accelerator, this is not going to have, trained on every possible end user intent. And we're not going to go through the whole Slack conversation right now. But what I want you to think about as you're watching this is, what could I be doing with Watson Virtual Agent? Or how could I be using Watson Virtual Agent in my business? And how can I be using existing applications that my company may use, such as Slack, to service my customers and really escalate issues where maybe Watson can't handle them to a human agent who can. And there I have a delightful customer experience, and I've also automated a good portion of the process. And so I could continue this conversation, but if I wanted to, I could just hit exit and that would end the conversation. And if I go back, now you can see that that text is also going to be transferred here. So again, the main takeaway is what can I be doing with Watson Virtual Agent and how can I be integrating with other applications such as Slack to provide a great customer experience but also automate maybe the parts of the process that I don't necessarily need a human for. This is the insurance example that we have for the Integrated Virtual Agent Accelerator. There are 3 different types of intents that you could choose to engage with Watson on. Either what type of insurance does Armor Insurance provide, can I get a quote, or why has my premium changed? And again, you want to make sure that you are setting up your Slack channel here if you plan on using that integration in your demonstration. And so to begin, let's say I say, what type of insurance do you provide? And I learned that there's auto and home, and I can click to learn more. Let's say I choose auto. Let's say I don't want to add auto insurance at this time. And now I'm wondering, can I get a quote? I'll choose zip code, and I'll type in a zip code. And let's say this time, I want to get a quote for home insurance. Okay, at this point, Watson's going to say, okay, I can connect you with an agent who can help me find a quote for my home insurance, so I will go ahead and I will type agent. And you can see here that my chat transcript, again, has been transferred from the Integrated Virtual Agent demo environment in the browser to Slack. Again, just trying to prove what is it that I can be doing with Watson Virtual Agent and how can I be leveraging this across a bunch of different industries to really bring a value-add experience for customers. And again, the ability to automate part of the quote process using Watson, but also then escalating to a live agent when required is just one of those many examples. Cloud9 represents our retail banking industry use case. And here you can ask Watson a bunch of different questions related to checking your balance, activating a card, reporting fraud, reporting a lost card, replacing a card. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do with this one. We're going to examine just one quickly, and then I'm going to show you some capabilities related to our mock CRM system using Cloud9 as an example. But to go ahead and get started, what I will do is I will say I want to activate a card. You know what? I'm going to keep that typo in there. And the reason that I'm going to keep that typo in there is because I want to prove that you don't need to necessarily be perfect when you're talking to Watson. You actually can make mistakes, and Watson still is going to understand what it is that you're saying. So, okay, let's say I want to activate my credit card. And now I'm going to type in the last 4 of my social. I'm going to make this up. I'll hit submit. Please do not enter your actual social security number. Same thing for card. I'll add my card number. I'll hit submit again. Do not enter your real card number. This is just a demonstration. And then I'll go ahead and I will put in my security code. I'll hit submit. And now my card has been activated. Let's say I want to be sent a confirmation, so I'll hit yes. And I want to do this by email, so I'll click that. And great. Now my activation confirmation has been sent, and I have completed one of the intents, which is activating a card of the many that I mentioned using Watson and using the Integrated Virtual Agent Accelerator. Now I'm going to show you how we can integrate with a CRM system to provide a more dynamic end user experience for customers. And so to do that, the first step is going to be sign in. And you're just going to create any ID and email, but you're going to want to make sure that you write these down or save them because you will need them to prove how we can do this integration. So I'll create my ID, let's say demo video. And my email address, which is demovideo123 at gmail.com. Again, they can be fake. I'll go ahead and I'll click login, and you'll know that worked because you'll see it at the top of your screen there. And then I will go ahead and I'll continue my conversation and I'll say I want to change my address. I'll say billing, doesn't matter which one, and then I'll go ahead and I'll just update my address. So 123 Test Street, apartment 3, New York, New York. I'll hit submit, and then Watson will ask to validate if this information is correct. I will say it is. Now my billing address has been updated. So now what I can do is show how in a CRM system this would look. So I'll click on the Access CRM. I will type in that customer ID that I created and the email address, which if you forget, again, is going to be located here. And I'll hit search. And what you're seeing is that this information has actually been added to this mock CRM system. Now I could go through the dialog again and do the same thing for my mailing address, and you could refresh and see it here, but I will leave that to you to try. This integration with the CRM system that we just showed here is important because it demonstrates how we can use a Watson conversation instance to really power a business process that ordinarily would have to be done by a human agent. And so here you're beginning to see how some tasks have to be triaged to a live agent, but some can be handled by Watson. And so you can really see the beauty of how we can use intelligent machines to not only provide customer self-service opportunities, but also really assist employees so that they can optimize their workflows in a more effective way. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We walked through 4 custom dialog flows, an escalation to a live agent, an integration with a CRM system. Check out the tech video for more information on how you can customize this and make it your own. And lastly, let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see added, and be sure to check out some of our other accelerators by clicking on the Browse tab up here. And if you liked the Integrated Virtual Agent Accelerator, I highly recommend additionally you check out the Watson Virtual Agent. There's a free 30-day trial that you can access on the IBM Marketplace, and it also contains a lot of great information about Watson Virtual Agent. So be sure to check that out today.